Literally did. I was so busy. In fact, my shoe was in 3 hours. I forgot about this. Start about 10 minutes
Not yet. So you like that it was that? Well, it's for everybody.
Call a regular meeting and
Pretty straightforward.
We need to make an amendment to the agenda. I made a mistake, so the executive meeting minutes should have been taken off from our last agenda. So we need to clear that off. And for old business, we need to add a pickleball court update, please. I think you have to make a motion and Stacy second.
Make a motion to amend the agenda.
I'll make a motion to amend the agenda to remove June 25th executive meeting minutes and to add to new business pickleball updates.
Second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we need a motion to accept the June 25th meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the June 25th meeting minutes. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That was Alicia and
Now we're gonna pay bills.
Okay. Per the county auditor, with everything that's going on with our software, and everybody working in our software, meaning the county auditor and everybody else who's official, we were giving permission to pay bills to keep us online, pretty much were her exact words. So I have bills for the council to approve tonight to be paid. And every one of you needs to look at them, please. Start with you.
How much money do we currently have?
Pardon me?
How much money do we have?
It's about 3,000.
About 3,000?
I don't have an exact number for
It's
you,
all right.
but I do. Okay, I'll get back. Start with Janet down. These are all the bills. These are just, it's power, it's our phone, it's our internet,
Garbage.
it's our garbage service. It's really just to keep the town hall running right now.
So is the plan today, what am I looking at here? Are these all bills that are due now?
These are what you're gonna work at,
Okay.
on the table. So you have May's, so we're clearing out Gary's garbage, because we owe them for
Okay.
May. We cleared out Triworks to get our Ford truck back before they towed it.
Okay.
This is the power bill, including all past due balances, so we're current. iFiber, this is the monthly charge. We were behind on our phone bill
Okay.
for, so MCI is long distance calling, so usually it's like 25 something. Our fuel bill for the mini mart, which is monthly, RTI is our phone. And then we had grant money come in and we have to get that out of our account.
Okay.
And these, you're gonna get all these coming down.
Okay. So do we have money coming in to cover that?
We did,
Okay.
we had 12,000 in the bank, so we're gonna have
Okay.
a little bit left.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
As soon as we sign them,
This is all the money coming in.
we're the only
Yeah.
signers.
So, with the software, it was, well, we were shut down, locked out. We finally got access and I was able to post the utility payments.
Okay.
But I did them by deposits, so it wasn't a lump sum, and it didn't confuse you guys.
Okay.
That way, you can look at, so this one I did two, I did this yesterday, so these two deposit slips are going to equal this amount. So
Okay.
all of this,
And this is all from water bill and sewer
this is
bills?
all utility bills.
Okay.
And then I did get John Kinney paid a invoice, so this is it, you can see the invoice, what he paid.
Okay.
Same thing here. This is all utility bills coming in that have been posted.
Jacob,
Oops.
I'm sorry,
I got somebody's.
do you need an initial on this to say that?
If you guys can sign off on it, please, just to say
Yes.
that, I was learning the printer.
Okay, so here's the one for 20.
We'll give it to the city office.
So this
Yeah.
deposit was. There should be a deposit or some stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, it's like jumping.
But each one will have a treasurer's receipt, the deposit slip, and it's gonna show you what amounts.
Okay,
And then it's gonna have everything stapled to what it's. And this is just a,
It only
I don't
took
think it's gonna
one,
be the
so
special
we're
meeting,
good.
because this
We're
was
good
a
there.
stockpile,
Okay.
until I could work on a calendar. We did have a deposit from the Washington State Treasurer come in also, and this will show you what came in, and then what, funds that it went to.
okay.
And then that's from them, and then that's showing that I posted it in the funds. I know it's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
So it says that it's below the balance. That we're paying.
That was the final balance, because she did make she did make a small payment on it. Go back.
She will try those.
That's the part we were able to get these people back to full. Not fair to them.
Did you, is the truck on that one?
No, but it's
No.
on this one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because the truck should be reflected too, and that's the only.
Yeah.
It's on that.
It's on the
But,
top.
yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
This is money that came in. So it went into the market, and it was John King paid for the wastewater bags.
Oh.
And then that's what we built it. There's his invoice, and he paid it. And then it just shows that I put it in the, and then this is money we received also from Washington State Treasurer.
So
It's
just a
gonna go
wastewater
away.
bags for John.
This is
This
the
bill.
ones that I signed it from them, and then I
And
fixed
then our
it to the
billing.
president.
Oh, I see.
We have to
And
sign
then
off.
all this being audited.
Yep. Cool. Paper trail is gonna be a huge amount.
Janet, if you signed it, it
Okay,
took me a couple tries,
okay, I got you.
but I want that to be filed, so we're not, where did this check go?
Okay, that's a good idea, because they're all
Yep.
covered in sequential. Okay, cool.
I just got some checks I'll do.
Okay.
Figure out,
Some of these.
I guess we better figure out, we'll get the best we can.
It
This
looks,
needs to go away.
okay. It looks okay.
How do we get rid of it now?
I paid cash, but
Okay, never mind.
I'll initial.
if not, I'll
Yeah,
pay it, it don't make any difference.
Here is, that's Janet.
Her name's still on there, and I just crossed it off. and then-
Something for you guys that pay utility bills for town billing. If you guys could please pay by check and just avoid cash at all costs right now, it would help us out greatly.
Already doing it. On paper trail moving from way back. This little.
Or set up direct deposit.
Direct deposit, anything, just no cash.
I like a paper
This one's
trail.
just a folded one.
We got a
It
whole
saved my
stack
ass
here
many
now. We
times.
get
I'll just
We're
get
back
it.
that far in communities.
That's-
Yeah.
I don't
We
know
were
where
gonna
it's
be
at.
shut off, but
Right here, so just put it right
We would have
here.
been having this in by candlelight.
These are the receipts.
There will be no
Yeah.
filter.
This is on the-
It really is.
How much did
When these are
Mr.
back.
Skinny donate
No.
to buy those plates?
These are treasury receipts.
It was like 92.50, I think. It's like 25 or 27 days, I think.
All right, here you go, 92.50.
It's on the
This is a good thing.
How long does that last us?
That's a plus.
That's a JP question, or a Alicia question.
I don't know.
I don't know, it's fair.
Well, for John, I have no idea how long they last.
I don't
John.
either. Did you look at these? This is money coming in.
Yeah, I did see those. Thank you. And then do you have a total for the deposits? Didn't add it all up.
That's back over, thank you.
I will definitely have that next time.
Okay,
It
What's
is,
next on the
it is a lot.
yeah.
Just bear with me, please.
Sorry.
Have there been any issues getting this month's bills out?
For what those, like utilities?
Yeah,
I'm hoping to have utilities out tomorrow.
okay, cool.
And what was it Tim was asking for, a total? You want
Yeah.
a sheet that has a,
Deposits.
oh, okay.
Total on the deposits.
I have a
yeah.
total that went out, but I,
I mean, I could add them up.
Just each slip has it.
the
so.
There's
deposits.
the amount here on the treasurer's receipt, I'll just add those up.
Yeah, because those match.
I got a question about the utilities. Will it be a problem if we paid in advance?
As long as it's a check, no,
No,
Okay,
because she can post that.
I can
Have a
post those.
tracking.
okay.
you mean like pay a couple of months in advance?
Or a
Like
year.
Or about in advance?
From,
utilities.
from starting right now or like past?
Well, no, in the future. I mean,
Yeah.
next bill we pay for 3 or 4 months.
That's
instead
fine.
of 1 month.
It'll just go on as a credit on your account.
Okay.
The Springbrook software,
It just adds a little bit to the
It's okay.
coffers.
I did a couple today that were in advance, and it was done.
So that's all fees, am I missing some? It's $6,982.
Should be noted.
Unless I'm missing some. Oh, are there some down there?
Yeah. So there's 38,
Okay, there it is.
and then there's this one.
Is there a way to have a paper trail and get our utility bills without you having to mail them to us, to save the city some money?
It's
Maybe.
Washington state law. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It has to be mailed.
yeah.
So I got a total deposits of 10,877.
And we have just a little bit in the account already.
And we had a little bit more, and I see 10,280 in expenses, so we're in the black.
When we
All
get,
right, we're making money.
That's what you said.
when we
I paid my
get,
water bill tomorrow, we'll be ahead.
All right.
yeah,
We can take it down.
we're getting there. It's not a deficit.
Still spreading.
Move on to the next.
We need, you guys need to approve it so I can pay the bills.
Need to approve the treasurer's report.
Me paying bills.
I'll make a motion to let Jade pay the bills now that they've been signed and approved and seen by the council.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Rick,
I do know something.
very good job, thank you, Jade. It's almost like
Yeah,
you've
very
been doing
good,
that this
thank
whole
you.
time.
Next thing on the
Save
agenda
comments till
is
the end of it all.
county commissioner.
We could do it.
Talk a little bit about, we had a meeting on Tuesday in Ione for the road forum that we've been having all over the county. This is our second public hearing. We had one last week in Diamond Lake, trying to educate the public about the backlog of deferred maintenance on county roads and the decision by Public Works and the commissioners to take out some roads from pavement and move back to gravel. So it's not a popular decision. There's 2-3 roads in my district that are being considered for that. Right now, Larch Lane is one that we did, River Ranch Road last year. We also did Robards Road up on Lehigh Hill Road. There's probably a $10 million backlog of deferred maintenance on county roads, and due to revenue not matching costs. Pretty straightforward. And so this process of this thing is something that I've really been driving. I want to educate the public on the issue and get their feedback on what they would like us to do. We proposed 3 different tax options, and I know I said that word, nobody threw something at me yet. 2 of them I think are, in my mind, non-starters. The first one was a levy lid lift, and I think everybody probably just got their tax assessment and are not happy about that. At least the ones that talk to me aren't happy about it. and so that's not real popular, although remember that your assessment is not the same as your taxes, but still. The other option is a fee on your vehicle license tabs, which is also not very popular. I think we all remember we had a citizens initiative and we're supposed to have $30 license tabs in this state, and we all wonder what happened to that. So that's not very popular either. And these are the 3 that are in the control of the commissioners. And the last one is to create a transportation improvement district and have a sales tax increase, which to me is the most palatable, especially given the fact that most of our sales tax revenue is paid by people who don't live here. So all of those options individually would bring us about an additional $600,000 a year for Connery County roads. All of those options would be siloed funds that could not be spent for any other purpose than road maintenance, even by other commissioners, without going back to people for a vote. So that's one of my preferences of those. Or we may not do anything, and that's fine as well. Part of this process is to gauge the public's opinion on this so that we don't go down a road that's a non-starter. If we continue how we are definitely going to have to reduce what we do. That's that simple. It's just not sustainable. So
If we don't fulfill one of those options, then
we,
we're gonna shut off.
and even with one of those options, should inflation continue how it is, and should the state continue to neglect basic infrastructure maintenance dollars, they seem to have money for everything but like just basic maintenance. Remember that your state fuel tax goes for roads and is a motor vehicle fuel tax is the road revenue in this state, and that revenue has been decreasing for some time on a state level. They're just not getting as much revenue out of that. So we got a fair amount of feedback on Tuesday at that meeting that was packed out in there. You know, people gave us a lot of feedback about the idea of taking their road back to gravel, and so it's well worth the time. And I think it was good to educate people on the issue. They did a better job than I just did, because we had facts and engineers there. So I'm gonna keep pounding that to people so they are aware of that issue. It's not a surprise. Otherwise, I'm here to take questions. I don't have anything else.
What did you say that deficit was, Frank?
I think he said there's about a $10 million backlog of deferred maintenance. So as near as we can tell, if we brought everything up to where we should be, it would take $10 million. Now, we couldn't do that work in a year, even if we had the money, because we don't have enough equipment, we don't have enough employees, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, I think if we got one of these, the 600,000 bump in revenue a year, that we would be kind of holding our own and maybe gaining on it a little bit. And what I'm talking about is just basic county roads, secondary roads, not your main arterials like Sullivan Lake Road, Boundary Road, North LeClaire, South LeClaire, Flowery Trail, Scotia, Spring Valley. All of those roads are aside what I'm talking about. I'm talking about secondary roads like Lehigh Hill, you know, in Ione, Greenhouse Road, and a lot of your housing. Those are the ones that are really bad, and those are the ones that we cannot get revenue from the state on. The bigger roads like Flowery Trail, we can get revenue from to do those. So.
And so potentially those roads that you're talking about, those secondary, those
Right.
would be turned to gravel? If not-
Yeah, and probably you wouldn't see something like that on a greenhouse, but it would be more like, you know, Larch Lane is one of a good example.
Yeah.
In this 3 to 10 houses on them,
Yeah.
roads. And I will just also note that a lot of those roads were really poorly built in the first place and should never have been adopted into the county system. And then, you know, there's somebody building a road and putting 3 shots of chip seal on it, calling it a paved road. And then they have not lasted like they should. So, you know, that's some of them we're looking at. And then to fix them, you really do need to rip them up and put a new base in them. But the price of hot mix and oil emulsion is,
On the material, they're just amazing quality.
and a load of gravel is diesel.
And Brian, too, the state is not giving out permits for the rock quarries, the price
Yep.
of rock is going to go up.
Yep, yeah, and just hauling it, especially the emulsions and the oil product. It is what it is. Everybody lives through it. Everybody knows what inflation is doing. So,
So what, I have a question. What is our option with, you said they peeled up the road and then just put it back down like a.
Grind it up.
yeah,
Didn't
the
put it back
zipper.
down. Yeah,
The
is that
zipper,
not
and
an
that-
option?
Sure, that is an option. And that's fortunately or unfortunately for us, these blacktop roads are so bad, we're able to take a dozer in there and rip them up and drive over them, and they crumble into pieces, and we're putting them right back into
Oh,
the
you
ground.
really know.
So, you know, this is not like Spokane zipping up division because it's got ruts in it. No,
Right.
they're so bad, there's nothing left. And so we don't need to actually use the zipper. Yeah, but we do recycle the asphalt off of them,
Good.
and we're rebuilding the base. And it's actually an improvement, except for the fact that then we need to do dust control on it. That's the biggest issue with going back to gravel. And then the dust control emulsion, it went up significantly last year, the calcium chloride, and it's gotta be hauled a long ways. So that's gonna eat up our budget rapidly if we have to do dust control, which I don't blame people. We live on a gravel road, you got a nice house, your house is covered with dust. And, you know, it's an issue.
Well, every spring my house is covered with dust anyway.
Yeah, well, that's because that guy drives too fast to go to 5.
Well, and the upside of a gravel road is you don't need multi-million-dollar equipment to
Exactly.
take care of it.
Exactly.
Just drag it. Rick, you're gonna do the sheriff's report?
I will do, more than happy to. We had 1 case of fraud, 1 collision, 1 paper service, and 1 traffic stop for last month from the sheriff's office. So, total report of 4.
We don't have anybody from the fire district. Maintenance report.
Maintenance, I don't have a lot, but I did discover a leak outside the water plant in the main distribution So Tuesday, July 15th, I'll be fixing that leak, and I need the water off from 11 to 1. If you could remember to have your water off from 11 to 1. Hopefully it won't take the full 2 hours, hopefully it'll be quicker. But it's probably a 1,000 gallon a day leak, so we need to take care of it.
Need some help?
So, I have a couple guys from Evergreen Rural Water helping, and Blake with the fire department, they're gonna come with a blower, they're gonna use it as a little training. So, that, and then I would also like to remind people about conserving water. You know, it's a big thing here when we have a tank that is 330,000 gallons, we can make 144,000 gallons a day. Yesterday, we used 157,000 gallons. So I'll tell you, our pumps ran 24 hours a day yesterday, and we're losing water a little bit. So please, just think about it every now and then, just saving a little bit of water when you can. And that's all I have.
Thank you, JP.
Thank you. Don't have anything under old business?
Pickleball court,
Huh?
the pickleball court update.
Oh, I thought we put it
I
under.
thought that was on new business.
No, it's a whole business, you just do an update.
Oh, okay. All right, we're in the wrong spot.
You probably see we got the painting done finally. With my band of helpers, we worked Monday, Tuesday, and yesterday in the morning shift and the night shift because it was too hot in the day shift. And the painting's complete, the fence should be complete tomorrow, and we're just waiting for insurance before we put up the nets and net posts.
Good job. So.
We've got the nets and net posts, it's just, if you put them up, they will come, and I don't think you want them to come right now.
It looks amazing. People are so excited.
Looks real nice, Mike, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome job.
New business. New business.
New business, yeah. Public hearing action.
Do we wanna take action on public hearing, do we wanna, what do you wanna do?
We still need more information,
Yeah.
so.
I think we need to
As far
gather
as
a
the
lot
decision
more.
about selling or using it as equity or using, or what, or just forgetting about it. That'll come, we'll let you know our progress on that. We'll try and keep you updated.
Yeah, because there was another option there, so I won't look at both of them too. So.
So just table that for now?
And, as far as taking action,
Okay.
yeah, I think we should table it.
Alright.
What was that, your cabling, Pete?
The sale of property adjacent to your
Right,
property, practically.
practically, not quite.
RCAC rate study adjustment.
So, JP and I have been working with the RCAC and the health department, or Department of Health, and they need to do a rate study adjustment. It's not saying that they're going to adjust our rates by any means, there just hasn't been a study done since 2021. So it's just something for us to be in compliance with the program, that in order to stay compliant with any small water system programs, we have to have this rate study done. So it's not being done yet, but they are going to be doing one for us.
And the rate study will tell us
It will tell us,
whether we're charging enough. Is that
I
what?
believe potentially it will, yeah,
does this cost money?
no, it will be good for us. Okay, the RCAC will do it. It does not cost us anything now. So they'll gather the data, like our debt, what our budget is.
Our water usage, all that.
Yeah,
Goes into
and,
that.
yeah.
Your reserve, if you have
Yes.
enough.
So,
Right.
this is on the agenda and she's gonna want it in our meeting minutes. Do we need to approve this to have it be done?
No.
Is that what she wants to see?
So that's the other meeting that I am waiting to hear back from her.
Okay.
So no, this is just saying that we need to have it. So, yeah, we're not,
So it's an announcement.
yes,
Let
this is-
everybody know that it's going on.
Yeah.
There's being a rate study done,
Mhm.
and that's going to
I don't know
finish
when.
off the, wherever that plan
This
is,
small water system.
small
Yes.
water system.
For the Department of Health.
Yes,
We have to have the plan on file with the Department of Health.
Yeah.
If we
So
ever
we're-
wanna ask for grant money,
yeah,
we have to have this plan. If we don't have this plan, we can never ask them,
yeah,
they'll never accept us, no.
so, yeah.
Yeah, if you guys remember too, when you go and ask them for grants, if you're not in the appropriate range on your rate study, they're gonna say you need to utilize that option first before you ask them for money. So you need to make sure that you're in that appropriate range when you go and ask them for money, because they'll say you haven't utilized all of your options.
Which must be why they said that they will do it for us.
We've been through this before.
We've been through it.
In
We were
2021
a
was
couple
the
of
last
times
one,
when I was
yeah.
there.
I think it's just about,
And I think they even do a income, you know, they look on the census and they find that.
Pretty sure.
income survey.
Yeah, remember
That's
that?
fun.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Okay, we're going to set up emails for the council members.
We wanna talk about that. Right now, the way our emails are set up, they really should be changed. Our phones, really, our personal email addresses have, like if I send you the agenda, anything coming from the town is subject to FOIA. We should really think about getting town emails, and it would be a universal email address, so like, I'm just gonna throw this out there, if it's stupid, it's stupid, it would be like councilman number 4, it would be the position you are with the, like as you registered, so. And then if you leave or if you stay, that email address will transfer with the next person, and then they just go in and put their information in.
It just goes with the member's seat.
With that, if we would like to do that, obviously we're gonna have to have like a policy procedure thing, that we're not gonna use the email, and we can do that at the next meeting if that's.
What's the purpose of that?
So, like for instance, I've been doing a lot of work with JP.
Yeah.
And this way, so most emails go like to the town of Metaline,
Yeah.
which is fantastic, but instead of me having to scroll through everything through the town, if I can get something to council member, whatever number I am, then I can look for that.
Okay.
Instead of having to look through everything for the town of Metaline.
Another consideration, that was a death investigator for the county, so we had, everything county business was isolated onto county property, like onto a laptop with a county address, so that if that had to be seized into evidence, right, they didn't burn down your whole, everything, like your phone, tablet,
Right.
right, so it's a way to firewall. It's a little bit more of an expense, but it also helps the town, should it find itself in another situation like this, where we can just hand
Right.
over and it's.
Exactly, that's why, yes, everything will be strictly town business through that
Well,
email,
and the
nothing else.
computer is here and we have a laptop
Mhm.
and we can all
And a
look at them
desktop.
here.
Right,
And a
yeah.
desktop.
Oh, it's a good idea to isolate.
I don't want it coming to
It
my
is,
house.
it's a
No,
great idea.
exactly, I don't want anything town-wise coming to my home, I want it staying here.
Yeah.
Mhm. So,
We need a motion to do that.
If we want to do that, I would say,
Is it gonna cost money?
Would we
Emails
do,
are
yeah,
just, yeah, it's just,
just our Gmail
it's
accounts
gonna
or?
be,
Yeah.
it's gonna be some logistical situation,
What platform?
consideration.
what platform do we wanna use?
That's what I'm saying, I mean, how are you gonna set it up, I don't care, I'm all for it, I just wanna know, are you gonna take time and make out the individual?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's gonna go in, it should be in employee files, all the council files.
okay.
and we're in Gmail, right?
We can use Gmail.
Isn't that what the town uses?
We use Outlook.
Outlook is the town, and we can keep it separate by going Gmail, that might not
That's-
hurt anything.
And so moving forward, any correspondence town related would just go through these emails?
Yes.
Okay, including like agendas and all that? Okay, that makes sense, that we're kind of putting things up.
Yeah.
And they'll also stay posted for public at the post office and
Right.
so. if you don't have time to run in and check your email real quick.
Snow. Publish a crossover name, if they want to contact Tim, it's gonna be counselor number 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when Tim's no longer council number 4, whoever is, yeah.
That's a good idea. I'll make that motion. I'll make a motion to set up town council email addresses for each of us
And the mayor.
and the mayor.
I'll second.
Second, oh, you got it. I heard you. I just.
All in favor?
Aye.
Jay, do you want to?
JP, can you talk about the tissue issue that we have going on?
Yeah,
He's gonna get it.
I actually thought you were Cranston.
No, I was not. When he told
Thought
me,
this has gotta be a mistake.
No, it's not.
Some COVID leftovers.
I don't know what happened with it.
we have 5 cases of toilet paper like this. This hole here is too small for our bathroom thing, so there's 5 cases of this toilet.
Holy crap.
We don't want to store it, and
Might need it the next pandemic.
we don't know if how it was paid for, if it was free to us, but we just need to.
Starter bed, if it's-
It's doing us no good.
Do we know how long it's been here?
It doesn't matter
It's
what
been here
toilet
as long as
paper.
I've been here, because it's been underneath the boxes of the toilet paper that's used for social. And I got this one.
Donated to rural resource.
That was our.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Surplus.
And there's 5 cases?
5 cases.
Alright,
Do we have any
Six
idea what
rolls
a
in
case?
6 rolls in a case.
6 rolls to a
Where-
case.
No idea where it came from, no idea.
No,
No idea how it got here.
We
Okay.
find somebody that can use it,
So we need to surplus it.
we'll donate it.
Make one deal they couldn't refuse.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to surplus the 5 cases of industrial toilet paper.
Do we just wanna do
Second.
it like free, whoever can use it?
We get rid of it.
Just to get rid of it?
Hortons will take it.
Hortons will take it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They put it in the outhouses.
Way
It'll
to hang
disappear.
Floyd up on that, Brian.
No, I mean, they go through toilet paper by the semi.
I'll second.
Okay.
So we're gonna donate that to,
If he wants it.
If he wants it, he'll take it, I know he will.
We'll make sure of it. Pepper wrapper.
They'll take it up to the outhouses at the fire, they'll be lucky they have it.
Yeah.
so if Floyd takes that, do we need to make a motion that it's okay that we just give that to him?
If it
I
has
have
no
Tim
cost.
motion and Janet seconded.
Oh, okay.
Alicia, sorry, I'm kidding.
I know.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Okay.
JP's job description. That's currently evolving.
Yes, it is.
I don't know what was the reason for this?
I just think it's something we're gonna have to revisit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because when he was hired, 2 people were hired.
There's a the earth has made a complete turn.
Yeah,
So,
so this is something I think we're going to have to probably not decide today, but it's something that's gonna have to go
yeah,
on an agenda. And we're gonna have to figure out, because yeah, when he was hired, like I said, there were 2 people each hired at a plant for a minimum of 15 hours a week. So now he's working 2 plants for 15 hours a week, which makes 30 hours. That gives him 10 hours left to make a 40-hour week.
Yep.
And that's not a lot of time left over to do anything
That was
else.
25 acres tomorrow.
Right,
Right.
Yeah.
so that's,
Well, Tim Beecham does like 5 of the acres, so
Yeah.
at least that's good, at least Tim does 5 of the acres.
we have Tim Beecham as a resource and we pay him hourly.
Yeah, he 1099 him, and he is back to doing just every 9 days, is his mowing at the farm.
Slow it down.
Yeah.
Back under us.
so anyway, it's just
I
something
think
that.
you're doing a great job, JP, just keep it up, if you need some more hours, just go ahead and work. Don't worry about it, don't turn them in, just work.
That's right.
Yeah.
Keep it to yourself.
And then Bryce is still coming up on weekends and stuff, right?
He's coming up, he comes from, he'll be under time.
He comes up twice a month, okay.
Yeah, and he's
He's our license.
He's on call. And we're still under contract. What was that amount that we were contracted? Was it 2 a month?
It's 22.
I don't know, 2,000 a month and then
Is it
plus
2,000?
contract.
Yeah, so it averages out to about 22,
Okay,
and we contracted out, I know for a year,
okay.
but I wanna say it was 2 years, and I'll have to go back in minutes and find
Also
out.
gonna
I
not.
think it's a
Until
year
weekends.
Huh?
for
It will,
water and then two for,
it'll also
Right,
matter.
so that's why we
until
contracted
he's
2 years to
licensed.
get
Yeah.
JP some training
Yeah.
and work with him.
renegotiate.
Okay.
Jay, are you going to do a treasurer's report?
Kind of, kind of
Do
did.
your best.
Well, like Tim, okay, so I'm gonna wing it. We had, and I don't have the stinking statement, but before the bills, we had about $12,000 to our name. And we were able to pay $10,280.17 worth, and that was to, keep the lights on, pretty much. There was grant money that was paid out, and it was about $2,500, so we won't see that again next month. Well,
But
might.
the power bill's not gonna be $4,000 too, right, either?
I can go through really quick just so you guys can kind of see what we're paying out a month just to stay online. For Gary's garbage service for the month of May, it was $114.12. Now that Excess bought them out, I have not laid eyes on a new bill yet, I don't think.
We'll see it soon, it's coming.
But they are paid off, so no more with them. We did have to pay $2,522.85 to TriWorks to get our truck back because it had some issues and it was stuck over there until we come up with the money. We had not logged into tow it or
That's a one-time.
interest or, so that's just a one-time thing.
Truck's running good now?
Ponderay County PUD, it did have past due balances on all 7 accounts that we have, so that was $4,216.08. And we are in the good with them now. Our iFiber, which is our internet, it was $91, and it's like that every month, it's $91. MCI is our long distance calling. And that is 3 lines, and that's, usually it's about $25, $24 a month, but we were past due, so it was $52.09. The Mini Mart, which is our fuel account for the lawnmowers and whatnot, it was $623.62, and the billing statement on that was May 31st. RTI, which is our phone, every month it's $146.20. We had grant money being paid out, and that was $2,514.21. And that money is something that honestly should have never went into our bank account, and as soon as it comes in, it needs to be out like that. So all of that totaled $10,280.17. So from the sounds of just the deposits that I did yesterday and today into our Springbrook account, it brought us to about 10,000. So we're not really seeing a deficit. I know there was 12,000 something dollars in there, so we should still have money left over. Going forward, it's going to be really hard because we have funds that we have to separate all that money into, which a lot of it is going into the utility payments. They automatically break down. But there's going to be more monies coming in and in the past that we have to reconcile. We all have a lot of work on our hands.
Jay, do we need a phone here? I mean, can't we go like a cell phone?
We have to have a phone because the plants have phone lines,
Auto dialers.
so there's 3 lines.
That makes sense.
How much is your PUD bill without the past dues, like monthly, usually?
You know, I don't.
We'll tell you next month.
Yeah, I'll have a number for you next
I mean, I
time.
would assume significantly less than that.
It will be.
We're still trying to get our feet under us on this thing. There's gonna be
Yeah.
more coming in, like, what's the status of our insurance?
So the town does not have insurance right now. We are well aware, and if you guys want, I will show anybody the paperwork that it is being worked on. It has been submitted. We're through It's AWC and the insurance is RMSA. They have, they have dropped us for non-payment, and it was, from what I've seen, $22,000. In order to get back with that insurance, which we are trying to do, we are holding our membership fees. And they're gonna give us any resources we need, but we have to be approved by their board, and that's not until September. And in order to plead our case, we have to have some kind of general liability in place, like right now, which we are working on. It is, I have emails, I'm being totally transparent with anybody. I will show you the emails. As of yesterday, the insurance that we submitted, me and Janet and John Cannon, from ION, he was in insurance for many, many years, and helped us fill it out. It was submitted, and as of yesterday, it's with the underwriting team for him. I don't have an estimate on cost for that, but I know it is a necessity, and we have, it is in a rush with our circumstances.
So we didn't have any, is that the
We have
person
not
previous got
since December.
walked with all the money? Yeah, cause I was thinking if we had insurance, wouldn't that take care of some of this bullshit?
It would've if we had had it.
If we did.
So, and on top of that, they did send me, we can file a claim, because if there's anything that happened in 2024 when we did have the coverage, we could see compensation. Because we were still covered, so.
They want the facts and we have to
The
bring
very
up
fact
all
that
those.
we weren't paying them was fraudulent.
Yeah.
She wasn't
Yes.
authorized to stop paying them, so,
No.
I don't know, I think they would give us some grace. It's the
There's
Association of
so
Washington
much that's
Cities.
gonna happen between now and
Yeah,
then. That
yeah.
was, we've got the investigation going on down there,
Yeah.
and that's gonna be resolved. The state auditor's working on it, I am told. Well, I don't know, all I have
It's
is.
in the hand of the officials,
Yeah,
where it should be,
we're-
and there's
we
certain
don't
things
know
we can't
exactly.
discuss.
We only know what they're telling us, and they're not telling us much.
Okay.
What is the occurrence and aggregate for the CGL, the general liability that you're getting? Is it 1 million, 2 million? Or?
I think it was 2.
2 because of our park and the water.
Yeah, I think we're at
and all
2.
that, yeah.
Don't quote me on that, just because I scanned through it and it was like 45 pages,
So
but
2 million per occurrence and then something like 4 million in policy or something like
something
that?
like that, yes.
Okay, it should not be that pricey.
The good news and the bad news. The good news is, should you get in a lawsuit, you have no money to lose.
Right.
Right.
Would you like a waterworks where we're willing to give it to you?
You can pull a town of Cleo.
Yeah.
But we're scrambling to get that. Jade and I and the gentleman from ION, we worked really hard on it, got it done.
Thank you.
Jade got it scanned in immediately, and they answered immediately.
Ione is trying to have our back, and that's pretty awesome. They sent John over here to help her, and I've got to commend Jade for climbing the learning curve here. It's been awesome to watch her work. She's really doing a wonderful job.
Well, all three of them ladies need a pat on the back.
Absolutely.
They've been
It's not,
busted
it's
butts to get
everyone
everything
here,
done.
so.
Hey, you know,
Team effort.
the good side of this whole thing is, you people know more about the business of the town than you did 3
Oh,
months
it's
or 4 months
Exactly,
ago, so.
yes.
Yeah.
You're more involved in it now than just coming to meetings.
Yep, we're doing our job.
So
That's it for my
Jade,
turn.
you said the board of AWC has to choose whether to get you guys back.
Yeah, they
Yes.
have to have a
Is
meeting.
there any advocacy that can be done there for the board in that decision? Do you know people on the board?
Yes, so the one that we're working
Can
with,
Commissioner Smiley help you on that?
I'll ask, so
Andrea?
Andrea that we're working with, she is like the actual, like, the executive director board person, so she's really the one that makes a lot of the decisions.
Because you know, Miss Linder and Metaline Falls is part of the board of AWC in some fashion as
Yes.
well. So if, you know, if anybody gonna appeal on your behalf to the board?
No
Not
one
right
that we
now.
know of.
Okay. Do you know, is there a published agenda when they will make this decision, do you know?
August?
No, it was
Okay,
September,
September.
she didn't give me an exact date, I know
Okay.
it's, but I know that I will be talking to her again.
Okay, well, when you find that out, it might be helpful to have somebody there
Okay,
at that board meeting. I'm presuming it's a open public meeting,
probably.
and that if you had somebody there that would describe the circumstances of this and explain the situation from the council and the mayor's perspective, it might go a long ways.
When I first touched base with her and got a hold of her,
Right.
the next day after the
Right.
situation, she was trying to get us on their board.
Yes.
And she couldn't,
Right.
but she knows full well what the situation
Okay,
is, so.
okay, yeah, yeah, I would be interested in that.
Okay.
Their agenda was already set, so.
Yeah.
We tried.
Okay.
Yeah, we did try, and that was in June, it was too fast. That is my treasurer's report.
We need a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I will make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you again, Jay.
Thanks, Judy.
Council reports.
We've been working hard and learning lots of stuff, but I am happy to say at least we're out of the red for the moment.
We got 6 unpaid employees here.
No, I'm okay, working for free, I'm okay.
We have been for years, so
You're such givers.
they got nothing.
Dave?
Working hard. I would like to add that if you guys have resources or you know something, I mean, that you think could help us, we are so open. Public records requests, anything at this point, we will take anything. We're making cheat sheets, we're making handbooks, so this won't happen again, but if somebody new does come in, they have them, because we are starting from ground zero.
Had a great time at the 4th of July. The fireworks display was like top notch. I've been around and it's one of the best I've ever seen. I've been working with Mike McKenzie a little bit. Doesn't sound like we're going to be getting an EV charger anytime soon. So unfortunately that was kind of wrapped up in some grant money that doesn't look like it's really there. So yeah, that's all I got.
Park looks great. Gonna have to keep watering it though, but the park looks great. Thanks, Mike, for your time down there.
Yeah, I'm done,
You're done?
I'm done. We don't need it
Back to
green.
Arizona, oh.
We don't need it green for short of water, there's no need to keep it green, just.
The town, yeah, we're not gonna use water.
Has anybody done a study about how many gallons per minute are coming out of the impact heads that are all over town? Because I watched one on for 5 hours the other day, and groundwater doesn't need to be any deeper than 4 to 6 inches to make grass green. I don't think 5 to 6 hours. When I see those impacts going, I know because I used to put them in, how many gallons per minute we're using.
10 gallons a minute.
It's a lot, it's a lot.
We're trying to.
The logistics, right? Maybe we figure out a way to charge people for their water so that the ones that aren't using the money will not be, paying for the ones that are. I don't want to run out of water when I'm being a conservative bitch, right? I just want to know, has anybody been educated?
We're working on it.
Okay. I could do logistics because I did it for a living, but I can tell you what the breakdown is on. Gallons per minute,
We don't.
the pounds per square inch and all of it.
Public comment.
Well, that was my comment.
Wait a minute.
Kelly?
I got a question. I heard about this fiasco that you people are working in as I stand here listening. I don't come to meetings much, but it looks like you're really trying to dig out of a hole. But a couple of questions, because I used to be on the council years way back and worked under 3 different mayors, and 2 of them were really precise and one was kind of a flick. But my question is, how was Kelly able to prove that money, which she did, but who was her oversight? That's my question. Who was her oversight? Because each one of you guys sitting on the council has a certain department that you look over.
And then that's an absolutely great question. So,
So that,
what we're changing in policies, the clerk will not have that ability anymore. What,
go back and answer my question. Who was her oversight?
that would be him and then me, and council.
So
and
how did she get
I will
away with
speak
it?
for
You guys
myself.
didn't find it.
We're trying to find that out, how she did it.
When you commingle so many different entities, it's really easy to move the money, super easy. And when you have one person handling all those monies, and we're all guilty of trusting,
I understand that. The bears that I said were good bears went through every damn thing and asked for questions all the way along.
well, we're not the only ones guilty of asking questions and not getting the appropriate answers. There were people higher in the county above us that even got duped,
Well, we had,
big time.
there was, as far as that's concerned, Kelly, originally I would fill out those things, I would review all of the bills, and we'd make sure that it's balanced, and then we decided that we would have that passed on through the council. And it went through 2 or 3 council people, and whenever we asked her who's doing it now, she would say one of
The
them.
next person,
Yeah,
because I asked
but
several times.
They would never ask.
So,
Yeah, we were deceived, we're guilty of being deceived.
yes, we were,
Could I address
yes.
Kelly? And first off, I think all of these people, including even myself, feel somewhat responsible. If you guys would look at the published treasurer's report that was published and sent out to everybody, if you would go back and look at that, and you would do the math on that, and I got every single one of them, and you do the math, this town has been losing 3 or 4K every month for years, if you do the math. And all of us feel responsible for not catching that. The other thing that happened was a change in procedures.
Yeah,
And that change of procedures was a breakdown in training and a breakdown in understanding of that accountability. The procedure was changed where we had 2 people or 3 people doing the financial report, and then you tell one's doing it, you say, oh, she's doing it this month, oh, well, she's doing it next month, guess who was doing it? Nobody.
And it doesn't do any good
And there isn't,
It doesn't do any-
Answers my question.
yeah, but it doesn't do any good to find out who did it. It's gone.
yeah.
It happened. You know, these people are carrying some of the
I
responsibility too.
understand that.
Sherry.
Yeah.
When I asked my question,
I heard you. You wanna know who was
Okay.
responsible?
Please.
okay,
Kelly, it's a good
What my
question.
question is, it's gone, who is the oversight?
Yeah.
Let's have a better oversight from now on.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep.
No,
Yeah,
we
That's
agree.
where I'm coming at from.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
hopefully
Good
what we
question.
established already.
Absolutely good question.
Okay, but
What's
that,
the mayor?
I'm not trying to point fingers, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to get it established that it
We're
comes
all
down.
guilty of trusting,
What?
and we're all guilty of trusting the position at the time. And we made a process, we passed to where the clerk was able to pay bills without us looking through them. Because we didn't want bills to be late, because it was brought to us that they were late. So, okay, let's not have late bills. That was us not knowing the information that we should have known at the time. And I take full responsibility, I apologize to everybody.
Like I said, I'm not doing that, I'm just looking for the fact that in the future,
It's changing.
you have a better oversight.
That's what Jade was talking about. We're developing new processes and they're gonna be approved by the bank.
But rather than waiting for it to come back to
It
the
is.
county or anything, you
Yeah.
gotta have it almost to start with.
Okay, I don't know, one thing, Kelly, just for everybody to be aware of, the audit that the town was undergoing, this last audit, was a policy and procedures audit. And that was the type of audit that was exactly what would have caught this. Is looking at your procedures and how they can be utilized to commit fraud. And to put the right procedures in place. And the state auditor audits those, but it's kind of a random, one year they'll audit the water system, one year, well, this last audit was a policies and procedures audit. And I can guarantee you that the state auditor is gonna be looking at their procedures. Because this was taking advantage of the procedures. And so that policy needs to be in writing, this is how we do it. So when the council turns over, or the mayor turns over, they know how it's done and they're not deceived. And so that's gonna help. It doesn't help the past. So, I hope that answers your question. But you're right on the money, Kelly.
I'm looking for the future.
I know it, So,
Well, you know, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So in that, you know, my initial thought was the town should hire a forensic accountant to understand exactly what happened and how. And then based on that information, form an AAR, after action review report, find out where exactly it was broken, and then find out how exactly to prevent that exact thing from happening again. So instead of having a general response that does these protocols, find out exactly how she did it, exactly how she
I
did it.
think we're gonna find that out from the state
It's-
auditor.
Yeah, the state auditor's gonna do
We
exactly
already
the same
have a
thing.
fraud department on it. We
So-
have
Yeah.
several of them.
So the difference between what I'm suggesting and that, they're looking specifically at criminality and developing that prosecutorial mandate. There's probably more information there to be gleaned for somebody that you hire, just to look at your own accounting practices and give some guidance about budgeting, how to safeguard the funds. Right, so that's in-house, it's you guys controlling that information.
You said something good, but
The state auditor will actually produce an after-action report.
Yes.
I mean, as
I've seen them, and they'll actually make recommendations for policy
They
changes.
are, and they already,
I mean, so, you know, as Mike pointed out, though, you don't have money, but that would be something,
Yeah.
as a property owner here in town, I'd be happy to pull in somebody or pay outright for something like that, if that was something the town wanted to do.
But we are changing our policies, and, I mean, the auditor wants us to do that.
It was nice to see the bills all get announced
Yeah.
and the incoming money it all get announced.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ellie.
But the clerk will have, the job the clerk has is what Jade is doing. She cannot move money, she cannot pay anything without approval. Pete and I will be the only signing this.
From now on, if there is a bill that needs paid, from my understanding, I can do a warrant, and then they would just sign off on that meeting, saying that yes, we know that this was paid, that it was going to be paid. So it'll always,
Emergencies, we can do it.
it'll always be there, and we're gonna start producing bank statements that everybody can look at.
And we got the Springbrook auditing software here that gives us what our balance should be, plus we got a statement from the bank that say what our assets actually are, and they better match.
And those are actually rerouted too. Those don't just come here anymore. So there's other entities getting those, so we're all gonna, you know.
Yeah,
It's a mess.
We're doing the best we can, and any suggestions, please help. And please forgive us for what happened.
it's been a humbling.
Even Jesus had Judas Iscariot in his midst.
Anyway, where were we here?
Public comment.
We're doing public comment, and if anybody else have anything to say?
We've got a hoagie land across the street. We've got a perfect footprint for another hotel. Right there, restaurant, everything, it's plumb, it's on a pad.
This
You
guy
know
here,
who owns it?
this guy here has all kinds of magic up his sleeve. Why do we get him
It's a
involved?
fire hazard and a rat
I hear you're a
trap.
pretty special dude.
So,
Believe me, that has been at the top of my agenda almost
Hoagie
for
land.
18 years.
there it is, right there.
We have no control.
We tried to get help from the county, get the thing condemned, and the county won't do a damn thing.
No,
Oh,
we
but
tried
you're
twice.
lucky.
Throw it on the county commissioner.
I
It's a
know.
fire hazard.
I mean, the
I know.
process to condemn a building is
It's a safety
virtually
hazard.
insurmountable.
It's a safety hazard, a fire hazard, it's privately owned right now, and it's supposed to privately own it, and tear it down.
I'm gonna do what that is. You'll never hear that. Do that.
Okay,
I'm right on it.
public comment
Really gonna be a pain in the ass.
over. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Everyone,
Thank you, everybody, for showing up.
for the
Thanks,
town,
Pete.
thank you.
I have to say, it really seems like all you guys are trying your best to correct all of this, and I wish you the best. Thank you. Well, we have to keep in mind is that this wasn't the first.
No, no, he got a long life.
This is for years, professional fraud.
I was just curious.
They've not